Hey guys, welcome back to Fantasy Tipped. My name is Julian and this is the Week 4 waiver wire video. This is an important one, guys, because at this point in your season, it kind of makes or breaks it, right? If you're 0-3, that's not a great start, but you can still turn things around. You really do not want to go 0-4. If you're 3-0, you're doing great. You can afford to lose a week or two. But for the majority of you guys watching this, you're probably 2-1 or 1-2. And that's perfectly fine. You just got to keep on winning every week that you can so that you can make it to the playoffs and ultimately win your fantasy hockey championship. Before I jump into today's content and which players you should be adding, please leave a like and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Now guys, more than half of you guys that watch this channel are still not subscribed, so please consider hitting that button. It would mean a lot to me, and it's absolutely free to do. And for those of you that are subscribed, consider taking your subscription to the next level. Check out my link to my Patreon below. There are some nice perks there, such as a one-on-one direct message with me whenever you need. All right, guys, let's not waste any more time, and let's jump right into the Week 4 schedule. On Monday, October 30th, there are 9 games, which is pretty busy. On Tuesday, Halloween, there are only 2 games. On Wednesday, the first day of November, there are 4 games. Thursday, there are 12, pretty busy. Friday, there are 2. And then Saturday, there are 15 games. Every single team plays on Saturday except for Anaheim and New Jersey, making those teams kind of interesting teams to be grabbing this week. And then finally on Sunday, there are only 2 games. So the off nights are Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, as opposed to the normal Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. So Tuesday games are actually quite valuable. Unfortunately, there are no teams that play both Tuesday and Wednesday. That would be handy, but it doesn't exist this week. All right, guys, so the team that has the best schedule this week is the Philadelphia Flyers. They play 2 off nights, Wednesday and Friday, and they also play 4 games total this week. The other teams that play on 2 off nights only play 3 games total this week. The Ducks, the Sabres, and the New Jersey Devils. The Ducks play Wednesday, Sunday. The Buffalo Sabres play Wednesday, Friday, and the Devils play Friday, Sunday. Now, there are 8 teams, unfortunately, that don't have the best schedule. They only play 2 games, which hurts the amount of points that a player from that team can really contribute to you for that week. Those teams are Calgary, Colorado, Edmonton, Minnesota, Ottawa, Pittsburgh, San Jose, and Washington. Let's jump into some forwards that you can consider adding now. And the first guy on my list is Evander Kane of the Edmonton Oilers, 68% owned. And I cannot believe that he is only owned in 68% of leagues. With the McDavid injury, he's on the top line with Leon Draisaitl and has also been promoted to the top power play. He probably doesn't stay there once McDavid comes back, but Kane probably stays in the top 6, right? He was demoted to the 3rd line at one point, but I can't imagine that's going to happen again. He's a very good player, gives you a very safe floor with shots and hits, and I think that he's going to be someone who's going to be very, very valuable down the stretch. You should be adding him. He should be owning way over 68% of leagues, especially any leagues that count hits as a category. Then Pavel Buchnevich, 61% owned. I cannot believe he's only owned in 61% of leagues. He's someone that should be owned in way more. He's back from his injury now, playing second line minutes along with Shen and Kapanen, as well as the top power play. In his first game back, he already got a goal and an assist. He needs to be added in more leagues now. Then Evan Rodriguez, who have had it on a few weeks straight now, and I'm still not super high on him, but he continues to produce, and as long as he keeps that deployment in the top 6 as well as the top power play, he continues to have value. If he starts declining that production, then he probably will be taken off that top power play, and then his value will decrease. But as of right now, Evan Rodriguez is someone that should be rostered. Then I have Josh Norris at 53% rostered, and I had him on the video last week, and he's increased about 15% in rostership. Should be increasing even more than that, guys. He's played 3 games, has gotten at least 1 point, and all 3 of those games getting top power play time in Ottawa as well as second line time. He's someone that needs to be scooped up in a lot more leagues. Do it before it's too late. Frank Vatrano is someone who's good for the off nights this week. He's very, very hot right now. I don't think it's going to last the whole season. Vatrano's never been able to be that good for a whole season, but on a hot streak, he's someone that I definitely don't mind adding, especially for this week where they do have a couple of off nights. Owen Tippett of the Philadelphia Flyers is great for the off nights that Philadelphia has as well. They play 4 games, they have 2 off nights. Tippett is playing on the top line as well as the second power play and is starting to produce a little bit more. Don't mind adding him. Mason McTavish is another guy for the off nights playing second line minutes as well as second power play time. Not too bad. William Karlsson, someone who's been oddly really good the entire year. Despite being a third line center, he's been putting up points, and until he stops stops doing so, he's definitely someone that can be added to your fantasy team. Sam Bennett, I had him on this list last week, and the night that I'm recording this video, he's still injured, but he's practicing now. So by the time this video goes out, he may already be healthy for that Saturday game that Florida has. And if he's healthy, he's going to be in the top 6 in Florida and has a tremendous amount of value. Should be owned in way more than 21% of leagues. He would be my must-add this week if he is available for you. And you do have room for a center, guys. Sam Bennett has a lot of value, gives you a safe floor with hits and with shots, and should provide quite a bit of points as well playing in that top 6. Next is my Manscaped must-add player of the video, Sean Couturier. It's not a bird. It's not a plane. It's the most revolutionary ball trimmer the world has ever seen. Gentlemen, our friends over at Manscaped have been working night and day to bring you a below-the-waist experience like none other with their brand new Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. We're talking about a next-generation trimmer with interchangeable blade heads for whatever shape your mind can imagine. AI is cool, but I think this might be the biggest technological advancement the world has ever seen. Upgrade your grooming game to the Ultra Sphere this year by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with the code word FANTASYTIPPED. High tech for low places. Manscaped. Now, why is Sean Couturier my Manscaped must-add player of the video? Well, if you remember just a few seasons ago, Sean Couturier was hitting over 70 points regularly every single year. This guy is really, really good, and obviously he's had really bad injury luck, but he's finally back. And through 6 games, he so far has only 4 points, but definitely could do better than that. And honestly, that's not even bad. And this guy's getting all the opportunities playing top line as well as top power play. And this week, Philadelphia plays 4 games with 2 of them on off nights. What more can I tell you for you to add Sean Couturier right now? Next guy I have to add on this list is Casey Middlestat of the Buffalo Sabres. Buffalo does also have a couple of off nights this week, and he's centering line right now with Skinner and Tuck. So definitely not a bad place to be, and he's performing right now. Then Ryan Johansson of the Colorado Avalanche unfortunately only play a couple of games this week, and one of those 2 games is on a very busy Saturday. I'm kind of putting him here to show you that he's doing well right now. May not be the best pickup for next week because you might only get 1 game out of him because of that busy Saturday. But definitely a guy to keep your eye on. After that Saturday, he might be worth adding for the following week because he's playing top power play right now in Colorado, finally producing. He's also playing on that second line, so definitely not a bad deployment for him. Eric Holla of the New Jersey Devil playing third line center over there, should gain that center eligibility very, very shortly. Is someone that I don't mind also because New Jersey does have a couple of off nights, and he's been one of the better lower-owned Devils players. And then I can't understand why Philip Hedl is only 10% rostered. This dude literally over his last 2 games got 3 assists and then 2 assists. And he's playing on the second line with Artemi Panarin and Alexi Lafreniere. It's a pretty good place to be. And even last year, he showed how good he can be. This is not the first time he's producing. This dude is really, really good. And honestly, you could do worse than adding him to your team. He's available in 90% of leagues right now. Scott Lawn's another guy I would look at. He's not getting any power play time at all, but he is seeing second line minutes right now with Travis Konechny, which is their best player. Definitely someone that I definitely like adding for this week where Philadelphia does have the off nights. Then I have Ilya Mikheyev of the Vancouver Canucks, finally a depth piece for Vancouver that can be added. They don't really have anyone that has any kind of value in fantasy, but Ilya Mikheyev is a very good hockey player, and he's currently playing on the top line with Kuzmenko and Elias Pettersson. No, he's not getting top power play time, but just being there on that top line gives him some value. And over 2 games that I've seen him play so far, he's got 2 points, which is a pretty good start. And in a deep league, definitely not a bad scoop up there. Cam Atkinson is playing on the top line and top power play in Philadelphia and has been scoring goals. Already has 4 goals and somehow is only 6% rostered. On a week where Philadelphia has really, really good schedule, Cam Atkinson needs to be rostered in more leagues. He is a must-add this week. Tanner Pearson of the Montreal Canadiens, up to 6% rostered, was 0% rostered just a few days ago, is someone who has really been producing, and I absolutely love adding him until he slows down. Then we have Joel Farabee, who's skating right now on the third line alongside Noah Cates, who could also be a decent grab in deeper leagues. And both these guys are skating on the second power play unit in Philadelphia as well. So definitely not terrible ads. And Farabee so far has 4 points. So definitely a guy who can produce for you for the short term where Philadelphia has a really good schedule this week. And then finally, Adam Henrique right now is on the top line with Zegras and Terry. Now, with Carlson going in and out of the lineup, he's probably going to take that spot on the top line sometimes. But Henry getting that kind of deployment is really, really good. On a week where the Ducks do have a couple of off nights, it's definitely not a terrible add. Even if he does get demoted to the third line, he still has some value there. On defense, the number one guy I would add is Zach Werenski, the Columbus Blue Jackets. 56% roster, top power play over there, and he's so good. He should be owning way more than 56% of leagues. You guys are sleeping on him seriously, because if you don't add him now, he won't be available much longer. John Klingberg of the Toronto Maple Leafs, 50% rostered, and he's the guy getting the top power play time in Toronto, and a lot of the pieces in Toronto are really producing right now. Tavares, Nylander, Matthews have had amazing starts to the year. Marner a little bit less, but even then, he's going to start producing very, very soon. So definitely John Klingberg is a guy who I like this year. Mike Matheson, I still can't understand why he's only 40% rostered, guys. He's been great, has had 3 goals so far, fantastic peripherals, like I told you guys. He's going to probably be a top 25 defenseman this year if he stays healthy, guys. Mike Matheson needs to be added in way more leagues. Braden McNabb, someone who's just producing really, really well right now. His floor is fantastic, putting up some really nice peripherals. He's actually been putting up some points too. That's probably not going to last, but the peripherals definitely can. And if you're in a categories league, this guy is a must add. Oliver Ekman-Larsson at 20% rostered is getting the top power play time in Florida, producing a little bit more now. So I definitely don't mind the ad until Montour comes back. Hopefully that'll be in November, but if it's not in November, Oliver Ekman-Larsson owners will be happier because they'll have him as a top power play quarterback longer, and once Montour comes back, he's a drop. Travis Sanheim is someone who's been added in a lot of leagues, and rightfully so. Travis Sanheim is getting top power play time in Philadelphia now. Cam York did lose that spot, and he's on the second unit now, and Travis Sanheim has been scoring a lot of points. He's got 5 points through 6 games for Philadelphia, so definitely someone who can keep it up because he's getting a ridiculous amount of ice time, and his peripherals are not too bad either. Then I have Ivan Provorov of the Columbus Blue Jackets, and I don't think he's a long-term hold or anything, but so far through 6 games, he's got 5 points. He's really putting up those points. The peripherals, other than blocks, he's not really doing a whole lot of anything. So once those points dry up, he's going to be a draw. But despite Werenski coming back and taking over that top power play spot, Provorov still seems to be producing. So until he stops, he's definitely someone that I don't mind having on my team. Dylan DeMello is the same kind of thing. Normally, he's not known for his offensive production. He doesn't get any power play time or anything like that. But his peripherals have been really good, and he has been putting up a point every couple nights or so. Those are going to dry up soon, but you can ride him while he's hot. I definitely don't mind that. And at the very least, you'll get some decent peripherals. Matt Roy is the exact same thing. You're going to get some really nice peripherals, and over his past 3 games, he scored a couple of points, so that's definitely nice to see as well. A nice bonus, but I wouldn't expect too many points from Matt Roy. And finally, Pavel Mintyukov. I can't believe he's still owned in 95% of leagues because this dude's playing really good, seems to be putting up a point every single night, playing on the top power play unit in Anaheim, and he's been putting up some pretty nice peripherals as well, especially if you do have hits in your league. Mintyukov is someone that I like to add and should be owned in way more leagues than 5%. Jumping into goalies now, and Joseph Woll is the first guy and the must-add guy on this list. Joseph Woll has been phenomenal. Now, Ilya Samsonov started a game the other day, let in 3 goals in 4 shots. Come in Joseph Woll, he made 29 saves, let in 0 goals against the same team. The next game, he made 36 out of 37 saves. Joseph Woll is not going anywhere fast, and he has pretty much taken over that starting position in Toronto. He's a really, really good goalie, like I said in the offseason, and he needs to be added in more leagues. Jonas Johansson of the Tampa Bay Lightning is someone that has been doing very well, got a shutout in his most recent game, and he continues to be Tampa Bay starter until Vasilevsky is ready to return. Kirill Vejmelka of the Arizona Coyotes is the starter over there in Arizona. Ingram had a very poor performance in his most recent performance, so I imagine that they're going to start giving more starts to Vejmelka rather than alternating them 1-1-1-1 like they have been doing. Cam Talbot of Los Angeles Kings, to me, is still the starter over there in Los Angeles, but Copley did win his last game, but not a very good save percentage, so Copley might start getting a few more games here and there, but as of right now, Talbot is still the guy in Los Angeles. Elvis Merzlikins of the Columbus Blue Jackets, 35% rostered, has been pretty good this year as well, and starting pretty much every game for Columbus is someone that I don't mind, especially if you're in a points-based league. Anton Forsberg, someone that I like as well, starting every second game for the Sens, and the Sens have been pretty good this year. They're scoring a lot of goals, gives them a good opportunity to win every single week, and I definitely don't think Anton Forsberg is a bad ad. Peter Mrazek of the Chicago Blackhawks has been phenomenal this year. He's been absolutely peppered with shots every single night, and though he's only won 1 out of his 4 games, his save percentage has been very, very good, and if you're in a points-based league, you're loving the amount of saves he's making every single night. Then Jake Allen of the Montreal Canadiens has far outplayed Samuel Montembeault so far, so he is getting more starts. And if you need a starter in a points-based league, I don't mind adding him. Mackenzie Blackwood is the guy in San Jose getting the majority of the starts. Kakinen still seems to be getting 1 out of every 3 starts or so, but Blackwood, for the most part, is the guy over there, and he's playing pretty well. Then Lucas Dostal, only 3% rostered, has been playing phenomenally to start the year, and they've rewarded him by giving him every second start. So Gibson owners, watch out. You might want to be grabbing Dostal just in case Gibson loses that starting job, because Dostal is playing really, really well. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. If you enjoyed the content today, please leave a like and hit that subscribe button. I'll catch you in the next episode of Fantasy Tipped.